What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be another transparency video because I tend to be on that right now. But if you don't know, my name's Kiona. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be talking about people pleasing. More or less, I have had a lifetime role with people pleasing. I'll explain where it came from, and I'll explain when it ended. My childhood, I wasn't raised with my parents. Both my parents were drug addicts. I ended up with my aunt when I was 3 years old. I was born in the state of California, raised in Massachusetts, different areas of Massachusetts. But I did get time. I'll explain in my story today. My people pleasing, well, before I even get started on the people pleasing, when my aunt took me in, probably I was about 3 years old. I had the personality of like a 25-year-old. I was a grown woman at 3. I used to have that whole attitude with her, like, if you're not going to do what I want to do and I don't like it, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to go back home. I even packed up, she packed up a suitcase at 3 years old. Nothing in it, just the suitcase. Had cowboy boots on and a nightgown because she told me I couldn't take my stuff. But I was still determined to go back to California and had her drop me off. She dropped me off in an empty parking lot and I sat there the whole entire afternoon till it got dark. And then she finally said, girl, ain't no bus coming here. You ain't going back to California. Because I was going to take the bus and go take a plane and be back in California. I just knew I was going to do it with no money at 3 years old. But, well, I might have been 4 at that time. But yes, live, personality, me. No one could tell me nothing. With that being said, when I was about, when I say 9 years old, my father sent for me. So that would be my first time, you know, getting to go know my father and be around him. I'd never lived with him before, but I lived with him for a year. He had a significant other. I do not know if they were married or not, but she claims they were married, even though I don't believe they ever were. But when I lived with them for that year, because I was 9 years old when I went, this woman, who was a psychiatrist, did everything in her power to hate me. She hated me from the time I got there to the time I left. Excuse me. Sorry, drinking sparkling water. She hated me from the time I got there till the time I left. This woman did everything in her power to make my life hell. She tortured me, for the most part. So, my dad, he was awesome. He was the greatest, but he couldn't be there 24/7. He had to work. He had things to do. And this woman, I think maybe, well, I lived with them for a year, so about a year in, I finally got the courage up to tell this woman that I knew what she was doing was wrong and that I wasn't going to take it anymore. So I'm going to tell my father. Well, this woman packed up the house of all her stuff and she threatened me, and she threatened my father. Well, she threatened me first with a gun on the kitchen table. And when my father came to speak to her, she basically gave him the lines like she couldn't deal with me. I was such a bad person, and that either I had to go or she was leaving, type thing. So my father assessed the situation, and he decided he was going to look for other people in California to take me in. This went from family members to exes to whoever. He was desperate. He was trying. Nobody did. I ended up back in Massachusetts where I was supposed to be in the first place, because that's where I am now. He sent me back over here. And a few months after that, he ended up passing away. So that was where my people-pleasing came in. Because I felt, even at the age of 9, with this woman who, for no apparent reason, did not like me from the day she met me. I mean, this woman did everything. I had long pigtails when I moved there. She cut my hair off. She did some crazy stuff. Okay, we won't discuss that. From that moment, I felt, even as a child, in order for people to like me, I had to do whatever. So anything she requested me to do, I did it. Because I assumed I wanted to spend the time with my father, of course. And I felt that in order for me to stay there, I would have to do whatever she called me or asked me to do. So I learned that at that age. So even when I came back to the state of Massachusetts with the family that I had originally been with, and who accepted me and loved me even from a young age, I felt I had to please them in order for them to keep me, in order for them to like me, in order for them to want me. Now, this also showed up in school, friends, jobs. I got my first job at the age of 14, right? I was a store manager of 2 different clothing stores by the age of 18. Why? Because I was a people pleaser. Because I was that one person. Oh, can you stay an extra shift? Oh, can you come in? I was always the yes man, which is people pleasing. I never put myself first. I always put everybody else first, and assumed in order for people to like me, I had to be the yes man. This stemmed even with my friendships. There were times when I didn't want to do things with people, but I felt like in order for them to like me and still be my friend, I'm going to say yes. Even for people who, needed money. I was always a giver. I always had some form of money because I worked my butt off. So, I mean, if people were in need, I'd give it, because that's just me. I know how it is not to have. So, of course, I'm going to help. A lot of people knew that about me, and they took advantage of it. In relationships, it showed up even in my dating. My people that dated me knew from the very beginning, she's going to be a yes person. No matter what, I'd show up. Oh, you need me to meet you here. You need me to do this. You need me to do that. I was the yes girl. It stemmed even later on in life, after I had my children, and I was in my own place, living my life, and people needed places to stay. My house became that place for people to come stay, because I had an easy, sure, you need a place to stay? I have no problem. I'll open my door to you. And that ended up me getting robbed a few times, but I was a people pleaser. With that being said, on this journey, it wasn't that I didn't love myself. It was more or less I wanted other people to love me. I was looking for other people to want me. It was already conditioned in me as a child to be that people pleaser. It wasn't, and it made me feel like I wasn't good enough, I guess I should say, even though I know that I am. I'm great at everything that I do. Anything I put my mind to, I can do it. I can build some stuff. I can fix some stuff. I'm crazy. TVs broke back in the day, I fixed them. Like, I could just do anything. But for the most part, I felt in order to be accepted, because I always felt I had to be accepted. That's what I'm looking for, yes. To be accepted, I felt I had to please people. But here's the thing. No matter what, people did not come into this journey with me. They're not always going to be there. Some people aren't going to like you. Even family's not going to like you. You have to learn to love yourself, accept yourself, know who you are, and say yes to you. The point is to show up for you. Regardless of everyone else, you show up for yourself. Love on you just a little bit more. And I say this because today it hit me again before I came on here to make this video. Today I have to go to work at 7 p.m. I knew there was a meeting today, but I thought it was earlier in the day. No one asked me to go to the meeting. I assumed they were all set because they had a representative. They only needed one person to represent, and that person was going to go and have the meeting. Well, I get a call at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to ask me to go meet with this person, and be the representative at 4 p.m. No. You want to know why I said no? Because I already had my day planned out. I'm not going to work till 7. I already worked my butt off. I worked my butt off tirelessly for everybody. I've been doing it for the past few days. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I already have to come in at 7. I had my schedule planned out for myself for the day. And now I have to adjust because someone else didn't feel the need or a situation came up. But I'm not going to be the yes person and feel bad, and they want to make me feel guilty for not showing up for it and it having to be rescheduled because there was nobody there to do it. You should have planned it out. You automatically assume I'm going to be the yes person because for so long I have been the yes person. But today is not the day. But for the past 2 years, I've noticed I've been on this no thing anyways, because even in California my job was crazy that I was always sure I'll do it. Even my ex and his mother, sure I'll do it. People see you coming from a mile away. No. My answer is no. Once you say no, people know not to mess with you, not to ask you, not to bother you. They don't be all up in your stuff, and you can be happy and content with yourself and do what you got to do and not worry about it, because guess what? Either they're going to accept you or not accept you. Either they're going to like you or not like you. Because, honey, you don't do anything for me. And I clearly don't do anything for you. So therefore, I don't need to say yes to you. If I feel the need to say no because it's something that I don't want to do, then I'm going to say no. I have the right to say no. Just that simple. But I had to come on here today because the Holy Spirit had me saying I had to talk about it. Probably a release for myself too, because now I, securing where it came from, for one. And 2, it's not who I am. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not going to do something if I don't want to do it. It's just that simple. And I hope that rewires somebody else's mind who watches this video. Do not be a people pleaser. It is okay to say no for you. Love you. Show up for yourself first. Okay. Have a blessed night, y'all.